Hey everybody, welcome to the Deep Dive Show. My name's Mpomo Taurira. Our goal with this show is to bring you and I in proximity to the people and ideas that will show us that it is possible and it can be done, and eventually help us achieve on our dreams and our goals. Today we have a special guest. She's the founder and CEO of Homeground Coffee Bar and the founder and CEO of Romatic Coffee. So ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming Neo Mosimane. Welcome to the show, Neo.
Thank you for having me.
Emma, thank you for gracing us with your presence. So off the bat, I want to know, as an entrepreneur, right, what defines you?
What defines me? That is interesting. I don't know. I guess I don't really think about it much. I like to think that I'm quite tenacious. I go after whatever idea that I have. I pursue my dreams. And I have some grit.
Yes, most def. You need that.
And I'm stubborn, which works in my favor. So, yeah.
I like that. So talk to us about, first of all, allow me to ask this. Walk us through your history, as Neo, and all that, and then just, growing up, childhood and all that.
Childhood. I'm an only child, an only daughter. I think I had a pretty basic Botswana girl childhood. I was raised by my grandmother at some point until I was about 9, and then I went to live with my parents. I think that the differentiating thing about me is I've always been curious about stuff in the world and quite imaginative, and I've always liked reading and consuming knowledge. And I think that's what led me to the path that I'm on. I went to Pakalani Primary, then I went to Al Noor, and then BAC, studied entrepreneurship. I've always been working. I think that's also the separating thing. I like money, guys.
For sure.
So I've always worked, and I developed a work ethic quite young. So from the time I was a teenager, I had a corporate job. When I was in varsity, I worked in an asset management firm. And I realized it's not it for me.
How are you getting the jobs though?
What do you mean?
Like you worked in an asset management firm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty big. But how I looked for jobs during my time. I got nothing.
Were you persistent enough?
I don't know. Maybe I was probably doing it in the wrong way. When I finished my Form 5, I wanted to work. I thought maybe the job I could get was to work in an internet cafe. So I hit up all the internet cafes. I went to Main Mall, African Mall,
Maybe you weren't thinking big enough.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, well, for me, it started out as an attachment for school. And then I just kind of carried on and worked while I was in school. It started as a holiday job, I guess, for that 3 months where you're not in school. And then I just continued to work at the place because they noticed that this is somebody that we can work with, who works hard and learns on the job pretty quickly. So when I finished university, I left the job and I went to culinary school in South Africa. And I worked there as well, which was quite interesting. I worked in hotels. And one of my favorite jobs ever was I worked in a place called the Forum Turban Hall. It was an events place, and it was this just gorgeous 5-story building with maybe
the name sounded really prestigious.
50 different menus. So we hosted really big events. If Woolworths is launching a new clothing line, we would host that. I remember I was 21 I met DJ Fresh because we were cooking for one of the gigs that they were playing. So yeah, that was really fun, and it kind of exposed me to the different facets of being a chef, that you don't really just have to go and work in a restaurant. You can do something more creative. So yeah, I came back here and I started a catering company, and I ran that for a while. And yeah, I really was hooked on coffee.
Yeah.
So I was curious about it. And then I met a gentleman who was from Rwanda, who I started Romatic Coffee with, actually. So yeah, unfortunately, we parted ways when the business was expanding to Homeground Coffee Bar.
I'm curious on the name, though.
What, Homeground?
Romantic.
Romatic aroma.
Romatic.
Yes.
Romatic.
The aroma of coffee is what gets you most of the time,
beautiful.
you know. So yeah. So it extended to Homeground, which the first ever Homeground coffee bar was in Fairscape Precinct. You know, that BDC building in Fairgrounds?
Yes.
That beautiful glass building, yeah. The first ever one was there, and it was just gorgeous, gorgeous, you know.
How did you get to set it up there?
It's literally how I guess I basically run my whole life. Just kind of bootstrapping through it. Had a lot of help, which made me really appreciate the network that I've built. So I remember I was really, because when I set up the shop, I had just lost a business partner. So that means when somebody leaves a company, you have to pay them off, right? So paying them off means less money available in the company. And it also means double the workload. So I was just reaching out to people that I know, really. And I remember Lebo from Just Ginger. She had lent me a bar. So she gave me a whole bar. It was like a cozy little setup. I think the whole space was quite small, but it was cozy. Like it was a couple of couches, a few tables, not more than 10 tables. So it was just going to a welder that I see when I pass my house every day, and I was like, dude, this is what I'm trying to do. Can you make me tables and chairs? And he did that. And a guy that I met while I was catering one time, and his wife were really interested in doing business with me, but they had just closed the restaurant, so they gave me chairs. And yeah, so like I'm saying, it was like a community project of people coming together to really say, we believe in your vision, so whatever you need, they were there for me. And I remember literally painting the walls, putting the branding up ourselves, my husband and I. Yeah, it was just, that's basically how it began. But as soon as that was set up, crazy thing is COVID hit. So after all that hard work, after everyone pitched in, we had to close because of COVID.
Actually, I want us to hold that thought first, because actually I want to pack it and I want to go deep onto that one, onto the issue where COVID hit. We're gonna pause here for a break and we'll be back with Neo Mosimane. You're watching this video. I'm guessing there's some amount of value that you're getting from this video. I'm here to tell you that we have more. We've created a Patreon account. This is a monthly subscription-based model where you'll be investing as little as $5 a month to be able to support our work. And in turn, you will have access to behind the scenes, exclusive content, live shows, and even information on future events. Your investment into us allows us to be able to create more and better content, to be able to push these stories off. It is possible and it can be done. So if that sounds interesting to you, head over to patreon.com/deep dive sessions and become a patron. See you on the inside. Welcome back to the deep dive, everybody. We're here with Neo Mosimane. Neo, you were just talking about the ins and outs of running your business. And you got to the point where COVID hit, and you came exactly to where I wanted us to go. So take us through that. What happened then, and how were you able to pivot?
Oh my God, COVID was a hot mess. we had just opened the shop. So in Botswana, I feel like whenever you see an establishment, people want liquor, right? So if I'm just coming and serving coffee, that's like a challenge on its own. So we're trying to get over that hurdle and create a name for ourselves. And now we have to close because it's lockdown. And I feel like we were on an upward trajectory. We were literally, when the lockdown was announced, I was in the process of getting a visa to Germany because I wanted to export my coffee to Europe. So that was going to be like the first major step.
Yeah.
And now
Step back now.
you have to close everything, shut everything down. And like I said, the just opening was literally a labor of love and people saying, listen, we believe in you. Here's some help.
But
so
I'm so curious though, like what, like it's people talk about family and friends not supporting them, but your story is totally different about how everyone came and was raving about you. Yeah. How is that?
I think one of the greatest lessons I've learned is just how to build relationships, which is an essential skill really when you are in business. So I think that the relationships that I've built have enabled me to have that kind of assistance from people. So the people that are coming through for me know that for sure I'd come through for them in the same way. So that's why it was like that for me, I think. But as I was saying, people had pitched in and we had little money and we poured it all into this little cafe. And then when COVID hits, that means there's no money coming in.
Yeah.
And it was literally like, you know, when you become a statistic, like I'm this person who was chasing my dreams, who was doing all these things, who was getting all this publicity. And when that truck comes through with the free food, I literally needed it. Like it wasn't even like, you know, some people were just out there because, hey man, free food. But it was, for us, it was like a need because all the money literally went into this project.
How was your mental health?
And now we had to shut it down. I was not okay.
Yeah.
I was not okay. I think there was a lot of depression in that phase. And just when you are building something, there's a lot of anxiety around it. So I'm already on edge. Like I'm anxious about, is this thing going to work or not? And now I have to shut it down. I mean, this labor of love, it's when you run a small business, it really comes from your heart. It's not like, it's not just about the money. As much as we love the dough, it's not just about the money. So it was depressing, to be honest. And I had to really deal. I remember I would get up every day and do sun salutations, just trying to get myself to wake up, you know, just to get out of bed.
Just get out of bed.
It was difficult. So I had to give myself a task. Like, okay, you have to get up and do this yoga sequence just so that you can get yourself out of bed.
Yes.
You know, so that was really hard. I am really glad that I have a supportive family. So they were really there for me. So when we're all unraveling, they could really see that, okay, she needs help or she needs space or she needs whatever. So
it's always good to have those,
a support system. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So talk to me about, you know, we've now got to learn a bit about your story. Talk to me about how you're a mother, you're a wife, you have all of this going on.
I do.
And how do you, I don't know, some people say there's no balance, some say there's balance. What do you say?
There's no such thing as balance. Somebody's the sacrificial lamb at one point or another, because you can't carry it all. So sometimes if the business is doing well, it's all hands on deck and the whole family is here. So that means we're taking away from that family time. And sometimes I just have to decide that, you know what, spending time with my kids is more important at this phase. So if it falls apart at work, then so be it. But yeah, the point is somebody's always the lamb, you know, the sacrifice. So sometimes it's me. Sometimes I'm stretched thin.
But then what happens when you're really trying to push this? Because nobody will believe in your business more than you.
That's
so you're
true.
really trying to push this, but it's not coming through as fast as you'd want it to happen. And
sounds
all
like
of
my whole
every
life.
other thing is falling apart on you. How do you manage that?
I have a great husband. Oh my God, he's amazing.
Shout out to him. Shout out
he's
to him.
amazing. He's actually he has a design firm called Design Den. So he does all this beautiful packagings that you see. He's the designer. So I think him also being in business helps because he understands what I'm going through, because he also goes through the same motions of, okay, sometimes payments are late, or sometimes you want to do this, but there's not enough money. So yeah, having that support and just I think he had to have the strength. I don't think I would be married if I wasn't married to him, because
I actually wanted to ask you a question similar to that.
Because he gets me.
Yeah.
And I think when people see me and they're like, oh my God, she's so outspoken, so assertive, so you're running this and you're the boss and na. You need so much care. Like, I need care from him. I need more than average attention, I think, more than the average woman. So you would think having somebody who's quite independent means that you kind of back off, but it actually is the opposite. Like, this is somebody who needs extra care and attention and love.
Do you think it would be easier dating? Not dating, being married to. I'm not married, so I'm actually. I need to hear it from somebody that's married. Do you think it's easier for couples that are both entrepreneurs in terms of understanding each other, or entrepreneur in a 9-to-5? Like, how is that dynamic?
I don't know. I don't think it's a one size fits all type of thing. I think for me, it works out. And I don't think the background of the jobs help, but it's completely different industries. I mean, this is somebody who is a digital designer. So he's in tech. I'm in manufacturing. But it's basically just about understanding each other. So understanding our needs, understanding our need for space, our need for that love and attention, our need for help. So I think it's not really a one size fits all. It just depends. You just have to find somebody who gets you, really. Yeah.
So talk to me about, for you in your own experience, even in business, what do you think is one of the most, one of the biggest decisions or most important decisions you've made in your business? Because I know you do a lot of collaborations. I know, what do you think for you it is?
The biggest decision.
One of the most important decisions you feel that one was a very good decision.
I think not quitting, because it's so hard. I mean, it looks really nice from the outside. I feel like people that have a 9-to-5 sometimes will see me saying bye to my kids in my PJs, getting back in the house, and you'll think this person is just, having a relaxed life. But it's actually, I've been up all night. So sometimes it feels like everything is set up against you, like the systems are not working in your favor, and the payments are late, and you're like, why am I even doing this, So I think the decision to just carry on has been the fundamental decision. When after COVID hit and we had to close the other shop, like I said, I was really quite depressed, and I just wanted to be home and not do anything and not talk to anyone. But I had to just decide, you know what, I'm going to get up. And a friend of mine invited me to the space. It wasn't even anything then. I think they were launching it, and I had to be persistent and say, hey, I want this actually. Let me make it work. So I had to go after it. So I could have easily just said, you know what, I tried. I gave it my all. I put everything in it, and it didn't work. So I guess hade, But I decided to keep it moving. And I've learned so much.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We're going to pause here for a break. We'll be back with now Mosimane. Welcome back to the Deep Dive Show, everybody. We're here with Mosimane. And if you found some amount of value in this video, make sure to like, comment below on your biggest takeaway, and subscribe to the channel. So Newo, you were recently part of the Forbes 30 under 30.
Yes.
So my question for you is, talk to me about the experience of that, and also how you measure that event to have been a success.
I really enjoyed myself, first of all. Just want to
Congratulations, first of all. Yeah.
Thank you. It was so much fun, and I was so honored to have been invited. My thing was I wanted to, learn as much as I can, and network. So for me, those were my two goals for attending the whole event, and to have fun. I mean,
for sure.
So, and I did all three. So I feel like, according to me, it was a success because I met very interesting people from all over the world. I feel one of the first people that I met, I was registering, and he was actually one of the speakers. And he was going to talk on water preservation, and he was from the Netherlands. So just that conversation alone was so enriching, because I mean, I'm in a dry country, and here's this person talking about different ways of conserving water and making money from it. So yes, please, you know. So yeah, I met really interesting individuals. I got to set up, I got to set up a stall at the main event. I listened to, one of my favorite talks was Patrice Motsepe. And what he was talking about really resonated with me, and being an entrepreneur and venturing into different things, because he's like, he has a very large portfolio. So yeah, I learned a lot about how to navigate new industries and how to present yourself. And yeah, I had so much fun. I met people with very different perspectives of life from myself, which I always find very beneficial, because perspective is everything. So
for sure,
you have to get as many as possible to see that actually you live in quite a tiny bubble, and to see the possibilities of business and life from different aspects of business and work and life, and from different backgrounds. So I got to have very interesting conversations with people that are in different levels of business. I feel like people thought that people that attended were just mega millionaires, and that wasn't the case at all. I mean, people bought tickets and they're from all over the world. And if you think about it, if the ticket was 30,000 pula, somebody in the US just spent $3,000 on a ticket. So if they're running a business, they get to come here and see the possibilities of expanding to Africa and Botswana in particular. So we had really interesting conversations. And
30K is crazy though for Botswana.
It's not crazy. I feel like,
I mean like it's quite right up there in terms of, it's steep,
but I think it depends. If it was going to be, if it meant a lot to you to get to network with that network, to network with the people that were there, then sure. And if you have the money, I think don't spend the 30 if you're just struggling to get by. But I feel like the reason that myself and other entrepreneurs that were invited got that opportunity was because it was like a mindset thing. So I think
for sure,
De Beers sponsored us, right? And they kind of handpicked us. And it wasn't based on, are you a millionaire or what? I think it was based on, does this person have the mindset to actually take advantage of this type of setup, you know? And I think a lot of us were. As much as we got a lot of backlash, or hey, we didn't deserve it or whatever, but the people that were there, I think, found benefit in it and
Most
built
definitely.
a great network with, I'm sure, I know I did. So I'm going to be calling on a few people for collaborations
because
and
of the
stuff.
event.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that, the value of collaboration, because I think
it's
that,
everything.
you know, for a lot of us in Africa, we're going to really make it not much through competition, but more through collaboration, especially if you want to, you know, move on to the bigger landscape and the world. Talk to me, in fact, about your favorite collaborations.
My favorites. First of all, I like the community of entrepreneurs that I'm in Botswana. I think it's really been hugely beneficial to be a part of it. To have people that I can call on that have had similar challenges that I'm going through, that can say, oh, actually, this is how I've navigated it. And sometimes to just give me perspective to say, listen, it's not that big of a deal. It's fine. So the collaborations that I really enjoy,
like those you've worked with.
The people that I've worked with that I really enjoyed working with have been just Ginger. I think they give me kind of permission to be adventurous, and I like that, and to think outside the box. I've also worked on like gift packagings with Leswidi Diaries, and I really like the owner. She's like a creative genius, you know.
Who is she?
Her name is Opelo Leswidi.
Okay.
And one of the times that really impressed me, we were in a market together, and she was selling baskets, and she was literally weaving the baskets at the market and then selling them. Like it wasn't even ready-made products. So I think seeing that, sometimes we can be
hands-on.
We can be so hard on ourselves and feel like, oh my God, I wasn't prepared, and nah. But when you see that there's actually value in people seeing the process and like appreciating it, that was nice to witness, you know. So I like working with entrepreneurs in Botswana and even outside of Botswana. I mean, I have somebody who's actually become a really great friend of mine in Zambia. She makes honey. So she makes organic honey. So whenever she would sell her honey, she would recommend my coffee.
Yeah.
And we met.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, we met in an airport. So and just built this beautiful friendship.
So where do we see your companies going? 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
Well, I would like to have distribution points all over Southern Africa. I think initially when I started out, I really wanted to explore the export market, particularly Europe and the US. So I wanted to learn a lot about AGOA and export my stuff to the US. But I think I didn't realize the potential that is just in Southern Africa, and the benefits of being an African and selling to Africans and having access to opportunities that are specifically to Africans living in Africa, you know. So I would really like to have distribution points all over Southern Africa. Hopefully there'll be home ground coffee bar somewhere in Mozambique on the beach, you know. Somewhere in Kenya, somewhere in Lagos. So that's really my dream.
Do you sell online the coffee?
I do.
Beautiful. So how is that? How does that online versus, you know, the traditional way of selling? What is the difference, and especially in a place like Botswana?
I feel like we haven't really caught on much to the online movement. I mean, it's aspirational. So every time we talk about the fourth industrial revolution and yada, 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 I feel like we still have a lot of groundwork to do before we even get there. So it's great, but I tend to sell more in the brick and mortar stores because I feel like my clients are not really that familiar with the platforms. And the platforms themselves are still growing. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So before we wrap it up, we're going to just do some rapid fire. It's was going to ask you.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions that may not necessarily relate to what we've been talking about.
Okay.
Just so the audience can know you better. I think they would appreciate that.
Cool.
Emma, so question number 1. What is the part of your business that you hate the most about running the business?
That month-end phase where you have to pay people and you're waiting on payments. I think specifically calling, like I feel like I need to hire somebody just to follow up on payments because it makes me anxious.
Yeah.
So I don't like that part.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you, okay, if you were to die today, God forbid, if you were to die today, who do you think would take over your business?
Probably my husband. We're basically running it together.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you'd actually literally take it over?
Yeah.
Even though he has his own?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or my dad.
Okay. Have you considered selling it?
No, but I've had offers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You won't tell us the money, how much it is and whatnot. Okay.
They were not offering much. Okay.
All right,
It wasn't worth it.
Okay. What is your biggest relationship advice?
Is to don't think of people in terms of what value you can extract from them, but also think of what value you can bring. So when you look at people as resources, don't just think of taking. Also bring something to the table.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think the last question, what is your guilty pleasure?
I drink. Can I answer that one again? Okay, Netflix.
It's good. The people know. The people know. All right. As we wrap it up, my last question for you, Neo, is how do you want to be remembered as Neo?
I would like to be remembered as, I don't know, I guess I never think about it much, but I think I'm many things to different people, but I would like to be remembered as kind. I think I show kindness to every person that I interact with.
Beautiful.
On some level. Yeah.
Beautiful. That was so short, but impactful. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just witnessed Neo Mosimane. She runs businesses that are really growing, and she's really impacting the movement of business in Botswana, in the country, and even in Africa. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you dive into her world. It is beautiful. You will learn a lot. And make sure to give her a call. She's open. Her doors are open. But if you have enjoyed this episode and you've found some value in it, make sure to drop a like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'll meet on the next episode.